Hi crafty friends, today I am doing a scrapbook layout, shopping my stash. So I don't have any particular kit that I'm using. I went over to my scrapbook supplies and I went through them and found a bunch of supplies that I think I could use for this layout. The first paper that I'm going to use is a Vicky Bouton paper from her mixed media collection paper pad. The pictures I'm using for this layout are pictures from my injury that I did to myself at the end of August. I twisted my ankle very badly and I spent the entire September dealing with it. I put a little post-it on a picture of my bruise so that you guys didn't have to look at it the whole time I was scrapbooking this layout, because it can be kind of gross. And here I'm trying to arrange the photos to see what order I want to put them in. They are all except for the one 3x3, and then that one is 3x4. And then in the Vicky Bouton collection section that I have in my stash, I had this cut apart from Fernwood. That's a cute element to add to this because it sort of looks like a doctor's clipboard, so I thought I could do some journaling on that. And then after I fussy cut it, I decided to ink up the edges in black soot, which I always have on my desk, the little cube. I have a regular size one too, but the cube is great to have on your desk to ink up edges. After I finished that, I went over to my stash to get some more paper. And I decided to look for something in my rainbow collection in the brown section to see if I could match that little piece on the side of her paper. And that's almost it's very close. So I figured I would cut a small strip of that to mat under the pictures. Then it decided it needed a little more something, so I decided to rip one edge with the white facing up, so you pull the paper, towards you. After that was put down, then I went back to my stash and picked out a blue. This blue that I have, it's not the greatest quality. It's really thin, but I thought it would be okay to layer, and I thought it was really cute because it has red dots that kind of go with that red on the side of Vicky Bouton's paper. This is just some random paper pad that I got, I think, at Hobby Lobby because the quality is kind of low. I use that sometimes for layering. It actually helps the page, not be so bulky because it's not a bunch of really heavy cardstock. So I kind of keep both in my stash. So I just figured out the measurements on roughly what I needed to cut to put underneath my photos to make another photo mat to put them on. And the way to save paper is I cut a little piece off because I knew I wanted to follow through to give it the look of it going completely underneath that brown strip. So I cut a little bit more to put on the other side, and then I'm inking up my edges. It really helps make that paper pop. I still felt like I might need some more, so I'm going to end up going back to my paper stash to pull another paper to add for under layering. Still kind of trying to figure out if that's the layout I want to do. Those photos are going to go there, kind of playing with it to see what I like. And I'm going to put the title at the top. So I'm really starting to like how this layout is looking. I'm not looking at a sketch at all. This is just, I was just going by what photos I had and what paper I had and trying to figure out how I want to do it. So now I'm going to go on to the elements that I pulled from my stash to use on my layout. So these crutches are actually from a digital scrapbook kit that I have on my computer that I've kept. I have a bunch of those because I originally started digital scrapbooking, but I decided I wanted to do it on my desk instead of on my computer. So I just printed them out and fussy cut them out. And that's what a bunch of these little elements are from. And then the other elements that are stickers are actually from a Simple Stories COVID kit. The sticker sheet. I pulled some of those because I thought I was stuck home all September mostly. So I thought that little computer that says I'll be home, because that's where I was, and then the little canceled sticker I thought was funny because, all of my plans were canceled. I also pulled from my Vicky Bouton collection of stickers and ephemera that I have in my stash, because if you're looking for colors to match, a lot of times if you stick with the same manufacturer, even if it's not the same kit or the same collection, you'll still find colors that are really similar. So I'm just looking through to see if there's anything. There was a camera that was cute. There was a little tag noted. The one that I really like said weekend plans, because I figured out that that would look really cute with the word canceled. So I pulled all of them, and I'm just looking through some more to see what else I like. I thought originally I might use that flower, but it didn't end up working with my layout. I am a big theme scrapbooker. Like, I usually like to pick something that has to do with the element. So that's why I like the digital scrapbooking kits as well, because you don't have to buy a whole kit that you now have to use on a bunch of layouts. Now I will forever have crutches on my computer that anytime I want to use them, I could just print them out. So next I figured out I needed another piece. I wanted a color that was going to be nice and bright and kind of pop underneath. So I got this reddish pink color that is also from Vicky Bouton. It's from a project pad that I keep. I keep all the solids that come in, well, sort of solids that come in all the project kit pads all in one spot, so I can just go right there to get a solid. But I know that that solid is going to match the colors in her other collections, because the manufacturers, like I said, have a lot of times the colors match up with each other. And then I'm going to adhere that down with my tape runner. And now I'm going to start working on adding the elements and the title. I decided with the title to add, instead of chipboard, which I did think about, I decided to go with die cuts, because when I thought about my title being My September, that's a lot of E's. So I thought, well, let me just cut some, and then that way I don't have to worry about using a bunch of E's out of my chipboard and then not being able to write other words with it. Hey, I'm just taking a break here in the crafty fun to remind you to please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thank you. And as I was playing around trying to figure out where I wanted the stuff that I pulled, I decided that the flower, I think that's just where I decided the flower didn't work. Just didn't have the same mood and feel. Still moving around the elements. I was having a little trouble because I didn't want to cover the clipboard, because I really did want to use that for my journaling, and I had a lot to say about this because it was documenting my whole month. So I kept moving them around to see where I wanted these stickers to be, and it was really like I had it over here, then I have it over there, and I just spent a good portion of the time just trying to figure out where I wanted to put everything. I don't know if I'm super happy with where I ended up. I think the clipboard underneath the title, when I first started out, was a really good spot for it, but I ultimately ended up moving it down. And this is what I ended up pretty much going with. I'm going to glue everything down, and then I'll show you my finished layout. I'm going to add a photo at the end of this video of the finished layout with enamel dots and black splatter added. Thanks so much for watching. Have a crafty day.